These are the 9 things I stopped buying ever since I started my journey to financial freedom. These things are a complete waste of money, and I'll give you tips on what you should be doing instead for each one. Starting with number 1, which is how I ended up with an extra 10 pounds of oatmeal. I call it set and regret. I love a good deal, so I always sign up for Amazon's subscribe and save feature to save like 10% off my order, even though I have no intention of wanting the second order. And unfortunately, I always forget about these reoccurring orders until I get 10 pounds of oatmeal at my door. If this is also you, you're not alone. Nearly half of people who start free trials forget to cancel and then they end up getting charged for it. Otherwise known as subscription creep. Businesses love it because that means more money for them. So what can you do? All right, so the next time you pull the trigger for a trial or reoccurring purchase for a discount, immediately shout, "Hey Siri, create a calendar event for 6 days and call it cancel my oatmeal subscription."
Cancel my oatmeal subscription is scheduled from tonight to Tuesday.
Fun fact, even if you forget to cancel and the payment ends up going through, there is a 97% chance that the company will still refund you if you let customer service know that you just forgot. Next, I stopped overpaying for car insurance. Car insurance rates have jumped by 56% since 2020, which is a lot more than the rate of inflation. And it doesn't really help that car insurance is one of those few things that actually punish you for being a loyal customer. Car insurance companies love to jack up rates on their longtime loyal customers because they figure if you've been stuck with them for years, you're probably not going to notice or you're not going to bother switching. Studies even show that people who switch car insurance companies tend to save about $461 per year, or the equivalent of 307 Costco hot dogs. So here's the plan, all right? You need to rate shop at least once a year. You can call a bunch of different car insurance companies to find a better rate, but I'll also leave a car insurance comparison tool from my website that's gonna help you see how much money you could save on car insurance. You just need to answer a few questions about your car, your age, and then you can compare the rates. Overall, it's gonna take maybe 5 to 30 minutes to just check everything to make sure you're not overpaying for car insurance. And again, it could easily save you hundreds of dollars a year. The next thing I stopped buying is paying full price on things that I can get for free or at a significantly reduced cost. And it is easily saving me over $700 a year. For example, a subscription to the Wall Street Journal costs $480 a year, the New York Times subscription, $240 a year, and magazines like The Economist, about $200 a year. And I get all of them for free. Many people are sitting on many free or reduced cost access to certain things that they don't even know about. So here are 5 places you should definitely check to see if you qualify for free or reduced price things. First, the place where having fun isn't hard if you have a library card. Not only can you get free audiobooks, ebooks, movies, and music through your library with apps like Libby and Hoopla, some libraries even give you free subscription to newspapers and magazines as well, like the ones that I mentioned earlier. Plus, some libraries, the cool ones, even lend things out from baking pans to musical instruments and even board games. Second, check your employer benefits, all right? So many employers have this thing called the EAP, or Employee Assistance Program, and unfortunately, only 5% of employees actually take advantage of this. You can get free counseling sessions, legal consultations, and even get help finding childcare. There's also AAA and AARP, which I only recently learned that it's not only for the older folks. You can technically join even if you're 18. Surprisingly, these organizations give pretty good discounts on travel, dining, and insurance as well. Fourth, you also want to check out your health insurance plan because many plans have wellness programs like where they'll reimburse you for yoga classes or even give you free dietitian visits. And fifth, if you're a member of any organization like an alumni association, anchor down, a professional group like Toastmasters, you might get exclusive hotel discounts and even free tickets for certain events. Just taking one afternoon to look through all the things that you are a part of can literally help you save hundreds if not thousands of dollars every year. The next thing I think is a complete waste of money is overpaying for underutilized plans. Let me explain. Most people are paying for unlimited or high-end plans that they don't even take advantage of. For example, do you really need a 2 gig Verizon Files internet speed connection when all you do is browse the Costco subreddit and watch The Office for the 82nd time? Do you really need an unlimited data mobile plan even though you only use 5 gigs of data a month? You wouldn't pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet when you're only going to eat 1 plate of food. The average American spends $157 per month for their cell phone plan, which adds up to almost $2,000 per year. So what can you do? On your phone, go to your settings app and then look for something that says network, cellular, or internet to see how much data you actually use in a month with your carrier. Let's just say you use 5 gigs of data on average every month. Now you want to contact your mobile carrier and see if they offer cheaper plans with less data. If they don't, or if it's too expensive, or if you just want to easily cut the average phone bill of $157 per month to just $25 per month, well, Telemobile makes it super easy, which is also today's sponsor. If you love saving money like me, switching to Telo's plan with unlimited data, unlimited minutes, and free text can save you, on average, $132 every month, and you get coverage on America's largest network. That's $132 you can invest with to build wealth, or buy 88 $1.50 hot dogs from Costco. If you want something even more affordable, you can get unlimited talk and text and 5 gigs of data for just $14 a month, or you can build your own plan and pay for what you actually use, like $9 a month for 2 gigs of data, 500 minutes, and unlimited text. There's no contracts, there's no fees, and there's no strings attached. You keep the same phone, the same number, and you can set it up from your bed. If you're like me and you love a great deal, I'll leave a link to Telemobile in the description below. So the next thing I think is a complete waste of money. I am a little embarrassed to admit, because a few years ago, I almost, and keyword almost, gave into buying a timeshare. But now I know better. Some of y'all are scratching your head like, what the heck is a timeshare? All right, so for most people, owning a vacation home, like a condo, a cottage, or access to a resort isn't financially possible, right? Shocker. And that's where timeshares come in. So basically, instead of owning your own vacation property, you share it with other co-owners and you can access it during specific times during the year. It seems like a great deal at first, but don't judge a book by its cover. All right, so the sales rep will let you buy in this opportunity for a super low price, like a small investment of only $15,000, and then you can spend 6 weeks in the Bahamas every year for the rest of your life, which sounds pretty decent. But then in the contract, you're gonna get slapped with super high annual maintenance fees that could cost thousands of dollars every year, which you are contractually required to pay, and it's really, really, really hard to break out of this contract. The other issue is that really popular travel weekends, like during the holidays, are always booked by other owners, meaning that it's also really difficult to use unless you have a flexible vacation schedule. So what should you do instead? All right, so first, I just want you to skip the timeshare. Then I want you to open up your money map or any budgeting thing that you use and add a new line called a dedicated travel fund. Then open up a high yield savings account specifically for this, and then you would contribute monthly what you would have paid in your timeshare maintenance fees. Let's say $200 a month, right? So in 2 years, you would have gotten nearly $5,000 in your dedicated travel fund, which is plenty to travel wherever you want on whatever dates you want. The next one I call misaligned spending. And I know a lot of old money experts are going to completely disagree with me on this one, but it is something I will die on a hill for. I believe that it is important to see spending money on things that you truly enjoy as an investment rather than a waste. Which is why I do not agree with the outdated money advice that buying $7 iced coffee is a waste of money. For example, I love to play video games, right? I get really happy from playing games, but I don't get so much happiness from buying new clothes. So I will skip shopping for clothes and instead spend that money on video games. Can I live without new video games? Absolutely. Do some people consider it a waste of money? For sure, but I can justify the cost with my personal happiness levels. But before you shop like it's Black Friday, you also need to do one more thing, which is aggressively cut your spending on things that do not make you happy. So go through your previous month's money map or wherever you budget, and then you want to pick one thing that you know makes you happy and give yourself permission to spend more on this thing, even if other people consider it a waste of money. All right, so now you want to pick 3 more things that you do not care about and then eliminate them from this month's budget. Also, if you want to get the money map that I just showed you for free, just head to the link in the description down below. It's already being used by tens of thousands of people. The next one, I call it, not taking 30 minutes to self-troubleshoot is a complete waste of money. So after I moved into this house, keep in mind we haven't replaced many of the appliances yet because they're still functional. Within the first week, the dishwasher stopped spraying water and the fridge started leaking. Obviously, I don't know anything about that handyman stuff. I mean, look at me. But I did know that if I called for a repair guy, it would have easily cost me minimum $400 to fix both things. So I just YouTubed it, and I kid you not, within 30 minutes, I figured it all out and I started taking the stuff apart. All I had to do was clean this magnetic piece for the washer and then melt the drain hole in the freezer. Total cost was $0 and about an hour of my time. You'd be amazed by how many fixes are super easy to do. So when something does break or you have to troubleshoot something, just give yourself 30 minutes to try to figure it out. You can just Google the model number and then the issue, like Whirlpool washer not draining, model X123. chances are you're gonna find something on Reddit or a YouTube video of people who had the exact same problem and how to fix it. But another trick is you can also use the camera mode with ChatGPT and then just talk through the issue. Best case, you fix it and then you learn some skills and you save a couple $100. Worst case, you waste 30 minutes and then you still call someone to help. The next thing that's a complete waste of money, this one's gonna be a little controversial. It did take a bit of time to convince my girlfriend to accept this and be okay with it. So have you ever heard the rule that you should spend 2 months' salary on a diamond ring? Or in Michael Scott's case, 2 years of his salary. Sounds cute and innocent, except this was all because of a marketing campaign by the world's largest diamond company, De Beers. In the 1930s, De Beers basically tied the idea that diamond equals love with their slogans like love is forever and a diamond lasts forever. Prior to this, diamond rings weren't even the norm. And the kicker is, diamonds aren't even rare. They're actually one of the most common gemstones. They're just really tightly controlled by De Beers. So here are 2 things to do instead. First, consider getting a lab-grown diamond, which by the way are chemically identical to mined diamonds, and lab-grown ones cost 80 to 90% less. If you put these 2 diamonds side by side, you literally will not be able to tell the difference. Like even professional jewelers, they need special equipment to tell them apart. Second is to round down the carat size. Meaning if you want a 2-carat ring, when you go to the jeweler, you want to ask for a 1.9 or 1.8 carat because diamonds are priced by brackets, such as bracket 1, bracket 2, 2 carats, 3 carats, etc. And it gets way more expensive when it jumps to a new bracket. No one can spot the difference between a 2-carat and a 1.8 carat diamond, and you get to save a bunch of money as well. Next, I stopped paying for extended warranties. But I just want to put this in asterisk because there are specific things that I think extended warranties are worth it for, which I'll talk a little bit later. But for most things, you can skip extended warranties. A survey found that more than half the people who do buy extended warranties actually never use them for a repair. And those who do use them often find that the cost of the warranty is about the same or more than what the repair would have cost in the first place. And many extended warranties are also full of exclusions. They got gotchas, or they require you to jump through 17.5 hoops to qualify for them. So here are 3 things you should do instead. First, double check if your credit card offers free extended warranties for things that you buy with the card. For example, I use my Amex Platinum card for really expensive purchases like cameras because it gives me an extra year warranty on top of the manufacturer's warranty. Number 2, for most smaller items like headphones, small kitchen appliances like toasters, basic power tools, it's generally not worth it to pay for the extended warranty, but for major appliances like fridge, washing machine, and laptops, it could be worth it since calling a repairman alone is gonna cost hundreds of dollars. Third, take that money that you would have spent on the warranty and stash it into a CD or a high yield savings account. So on the off chance that something does break, you can just use that money and the money that you gained to pay for the fix. If nothing breaks, then you end up with more money. Which leads me to something that you've got to start accepting. It's that even if you're trying your hardest to save money, sometimes you might still feel like you're not doing it enough. And that might be because you don't know these 6.5 saving strategies that help you save money so fast it feels illegal. Click here to learn the strategies that you need to start doing now.